The Hyatt Regency in Coralville. This is Hawk Talk with Coach Ben McCollum. Brought to you by Honda. To see how Honda crushes the competition, see your local Central Midwest Honda dealer. Honda gets the Midwest. Iowa corn. You might think Iowa just grows corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa. Brought to you by Iowa's corn farmers of the Iowa Corn Growers Association and the Iowa Corn Promotion Board. Your Iowa John Deere dealers. John Deere loves to see the Hawkeyes do their thing, because if anyone can appreciate building a legacy, it's Deere. Lennox and your local Lennox home comfort specialist. Made right here in Iowa since 1895. Extreme, powered by Mediacom. It's the internet dreams are made of. Mid-American Energy. Mid-American Energy is proud to deliver affordable, reliable energy to you all season long. By your local Ford dealers. Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle. Midwest One Bank is the presenting sponsor of Hawkeye men's basketball. Visit MidwestOne.bank for empowered money management. Member FDIC. Also brought to you by Shelter Insurance. The ball is in your court. Visit shelterinsurance.com to find an agent who can help you with your auto, home, and life insurance needs. University of Iowa Healthcare. Changing medicine, changing lives. And by U.S. Cellular, the official wireless partner of the Iowa Hawkeyes. U.S. Cellular, built for us. Here's the voice of the Hawkeyes, Gary Dolphin.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the maiden voyage. Opening night of Hawk Talk with Iowa basketball coach Ben McCollum. As we greet you live from the Hyatt Regency here in Coralville, we're tucked inside. The heat is in the 70s. We're nice and toasty and warm at the Hyatt Regency Watermill Kitchen and Bar with 90 minutes straight ahead of Hawkeye basketball discussion. I'm joined as usual by former Hawkeye star and Chicago Bull world champion Bobby Hansen. Coach McCollum will join us in a few minutes as we break down the first 8 games of this season, the first quarter really of the schedule that find the Hawkeyes 7-1 following last night's Big Ten opening loss at Michigan State up in East Lansing, 71-52, a game that saw the Spartans out-rebound Iowa by 19, which helped result in 17 more second-chance points. And then combine that with the 11 more made free throws. And it was a tough league debut for Coach and the undersized Hawkeyes. I said a couple of weeks ago, and certainly after I watched, I got to Lincoln in time last Thanksgiving Day to watch Michigan State take apart North Carolina. And I said to myself, this is a Final Four team. They've got not one, but two, but three 6'11" guys. And then they have, if he's not the best point guard in college, this side of Bennett Sturts, he's pretty close. And that's Jeremy Fears, who they didn't have last year because of injury. But it's Tom Izzo. 8 Final Fours, a national championship in his hip pocket. I don't know how many Sweet 16s or Elite 8s, but it's Tom Izzo. And to win in the Breslin Center is typically impossible. Yet the Hawks got out to a 5-0 lead. Sturts hits a 3. I think it was Isaiah Howard on a nice cut, got a basket. It's 5-0 the first minute of the game. And I'm thinking, boy, this is easy. And then a 17-2 run later, Michigan State is up double digits, and they never gave it up. And that's who Michigan State is. Now, the Hawks admittedly can play better. They said that afterwards. And Coach McCollum hates every loss, as most coaches do. But he's very practical, pragmatic, and understands where he's at. And as he said on our postgame show last night, Bobby Hansen, he's happy they played this game at this time. He's going to learn a lot about this roster.
Well, you really do, and players learn a lot about themselves, too, and how difficult it will be moving forward with the schedule. There's some tough games, obviously, coming up. But Michigan State, number 7 in the country, as you mentioned, Gary, they got a national championship caliber team. If they could get some more shooting, probably, but they've really stuck with guys like Carson Cooper, 6'11", Jackson Kohler, 6'10". Those guys are seniors, and they weren't much a couple of years ago talking to their people, and then now they've blossomed into players, and Jeremy Fears, he had the injury his freshman year when he had some trouble back home during the Christmas break, but he's recovered now, and the guy averages almost 10 assists a game. So he got to the free throw line probably a little bit too much, but he got a lot. 8 free throws he got in the first half there really kind of set the tone.
I don't know that I've ever seen a guy at major college Division I level average 10 assists a game. Bob Cousy, Oscar Robertson. I mean, Jeremy Fears, kid out of Joliet, he is the real deal. And he missed all of last year. He's a redshirt. And when you have all that size inside, and you have a Cohen Carr who can dunk with either hand, he's 250 pounds at 6'7", plays like he's 6'10". I mean, it's such a tough guard inside. But when Fears is running the show, I mean, that's tough to compete against. And yet the Hawks fought. I mean, they're down 35-21 at the half, and that's not good when you're playing at Michigan State. Michigan State, but Iowa played them even the second half. You still lose by 19, but they learned some things at halftime. And you know, Bobby, you and I have been around Coach McCollum now 6 months. One thing the thing that bubbles over in my view with this guy is, when he got the job, I called Greg Gard, I called several Big Ten coaches, head coaches, names you know. I said, hey, have you crossed paths with Ben McCollum? I'm trying to get to know him, too. He had a great run at Drake for the 1 year, 4 national championships at Northwest Missouri State. I said, what do you know about him? And every one of them said, never met the guy, don't know him if he walked in front of me. But I can tell you this, he's an incredible coach. He is a great coach. He's a great X's and O's guys. And he eventually will get the players at Iowa that fit his system, fit his style, and fit his mood.
Well, you know, he teaches defense in detail. I mean, he's telling you where to have your shoulder position, your head located, your feet position. So that's the kind of attention to detail that he's teaching these guys. But it's also a big plus, Gary, the guys that he brought with. Obviously, Bennett Sturt's one of the best in the country. You bring Cam Manyow, Tavian Banks, Kel Coombs, and Isaiah Howard with you. They know the system. They can help teach these other guys coming in what is expected. So that's a major positive. I only knew Ben McCollum from watching from a distance last year at Drake, and got a buddy that's got family there at Drake, and he could not say enough positive about him on how this was going to work out for the Hawkeyes. So we're glad he's here. It's a great hire by Athletic Director Getz, and we're looking for great things out of Coach McCollum this year and years coming.
Yeah, and I remember when he got hired, I got a number of calls. What do you know about Ben McCollum? I go, other than watching him coach and play, don't know a whole lot about him. He said, well, I said he's won 4 Division II national championships, and of course you get the obligatory, well, that's Division II. Yeah. And I go, hey, let me tell you something. When Bo Ryan was at Wisconsin-Platteville, I was in Dubuque in TV and radio, and I went up and covered Bo Ryan's program almost every day. He won 4 Division III championships, and my pat response was, how'd that work out for Bo Ryan?
Pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good. You know, if you can coach, you can coach.
Yeah, and if you can coach at that level, because you're not getting those 5-star athletes, 4-star athletes.
Exactly.
You're getting guys that are undersized, that got a chip on their shoulder, and Division III, Division II, Division I, you know what? The trophy looks the same. The writing's a little different on it, but we'll ask Coach when he comes in here with us, what's it like to be a part of a national championship thing, and how much fun would that be?
And if he were sitting here right now, he'd say, hey, let's move on. Move on from Ben McCollum. I'm not happy we lost last night. And one thing about Ben is he likes a quick post-game show because he wants to get right to the video. He wants to look right at the tape as soon as the game is over. So he's all in. He's all Hawk. He's a great hire. And now the Hawkeyes get ready for Maryland. And so we need all you folks at Carver Hawkeye Arena on Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock for the Big Ten home opener at Carver Hawkeye Arena. That's the game time, 3 o'clock. Bobby and I will greet you on the Hawkeye Radio Network at 2. And tickets are available at HawkeyeSports.com or by calling 1-800-IA-HAWKS. There have been plenty of positives the first month. You know, we've been laborious here about Michigan State because it is Big Ten. It is a great program to open up your season against. Iowa had not opened up against Michigan State in conference play since 2015. And so it's been a long time. And, nobody has more respect for Coach Izzo than you and I do. And, I mean, he's Michigan State. Now, Judd Heathcote is a Hall of Famer, and they had great seasons when Judd was there. But Michigan State has never been Michigan State like they were until Tom Izzo took over that program. And if it can happen at Michigan State, it certainly can happen at Iowa. And Bo Ryan turned it around at Wisconsin and took them to multiple Final Fours. As I always say, in football you need 22 players. In basketball you need 5. You need a good bench, and you need guys that are all buying in on the same page. And another thing I've learned about Coach McCollum is every guy has to be on the same wavelength, or he'll blow the whistle and stop and talk to them until they get it.
Yeah, that's coaching right there, Gary, and that's creating a team, developing a team, and that's why I go back to those guys that came with him from Drake. They know what it is. That's that culture that we're developing here at Iowa, but he's bringing that here, just the Ben McCollum way, the Ben McCollum culture. So it's called impose your will on the opponent, and that's what we're moving forward with. But to your point, Gary, earlier was those first 7 games to be 7-0 at that point. Didn't know what to expect out of Xavier at home game there, but Hawks took care of them. And then the other tough game was down in Palm Springs when we played the Ole Miss with Chris Beard. And, he's going to come at you with all kinds of defense and rebounding. And Ben told us, switching defense. And Ben Sturts took care of that with 29 points and 5 rebounds and 8 assists or something. So that was a huge win right there. And then to finish it off to win the trophy versus Grand Canyon State.
Yeah, that 7-1 record includes a lot of positives here in the first month of the season. A pair of victories at the Acrisure Classic last week in Palm Springs. The Hawks defeated Ole Miss 74-69, and Grand Canyon in the title game 59-46. So you got high scoring the first night and dummy down tough defense the second night. And this is one thing you're going to hear a lot out of Ben McCollum. We will play at whatever pace you want to play, because he's got a plan in his hip pocket to counter everything you throw at the Iowa Hawkeyes. And so we're off and running with the Coach McCollum era, and we'll revisit that trip to Palm Springs, the Xavier game, the first month of the season, and certainly the last night when Coach McCollum joins us, and he just walked in the door, so you can hear the response. Bobby Hansen and I will be back to talk with Coach McCollum shortly, but there are a number of ways you can reach us here on the Hawkeye Radio Network on Coach McCollum's maiden voyage, presented by the Hyatt Regency on the Hawkeye Radio Network from Learfield. And we let me give you the addresses right now. You can reach us on Twitter at Gary Dolphin. This is for your questions or comments. And you folks here in the live audience here in the room are certainly welcome to come up and give us a question or a comment for the coach that we can ask him or comment on the air. You can reach us on Twitter at Gary Dolphin, on Facebook at facebook.com/Voice of the Hawks, on the U.S. Cellular text line. That's become popular. Thank you, U.S. Cellular. The text line is 319-853-8344. And email your question to hawktalk@HawkeyeRadioNetwork.com. That's hawktalk@HawkeyeRadioNetwork.com. 2 p.m. for the pregame, 3 o'clock for the tip Saturday afternoon over at Carver as the Hawks defend the home court for the first time in the Big Ten against the Maryland Terrapins. We're back with more to talk to Coach McCollum, who is here, and back after this. This is Hawkeye Basketball and Hawkeye Hawk Talk with Ben McCollum from Learfield from the Hyatt Regency.
Despite the unshakable Iowa-Corn-Cy-Hawk rivalry, there is one thing Iowa State and University of Iowa fans can both agree on: getting hyped for Unleaded 88. It's cleaner burning and better for your engine, and it's cheaper than other fuel options, making Unleaded 88 the clear fuel choice. If Iowa Corn-Cy-Hawk rivals can agree on it, you know it's worth the hype. So pump it up with Unleaded 88, grown by Iowa corn farmers.
At Mid-American Energy, our 1.6 million customers depend on our energy 24/7. That's why we work 24/7 to deliver the safe, reliable energy you need. To keep our 99.9% reliability record, we're enhancing our technology, improving resiliency, and investing in critical infrastructure. We're generating power from all available resources to cover any increases in demand. And we're innovating to ensure you always have the energy you need. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
RE/MAX is the official real estate partner of Iowa Athletics, and we understand there's a number for everything: square footage, down payment, interest rates. But how do you measure the trust you have in your agent? For a RE/MAX agent, it's not about numbers on a contract. It's being a trusted RE/MAX agent. That means you'll get honest advice, expert guidance, and someone who's committed to your success. Because while numbers count, trust is what truly matters. RE/MAX, the official real estate partner of Iowa Athletics. Each office independently owned and operated.
You asked for all the extreme internet performance at an all-in price, and we listened. Get 1 gig internet with a 2-year price lock and everything included. Unlimited data for non-stop streaming, powerful Wi-Fi for enhanced coverage, built-in online threat protection, and internet equipment. All for just $65 a month for 2 years. It's the extreme 1 gig internet deal you asked for. Call 844-4FASTER or visit extreme.com for details. Offer available to new customers only. Price doesn't include one-time charges, tax, and government fees.
Hawk fans, stop in and visit the newly renovated guest rooms at Hyatt Regency Coralville Hotel and Conference Center, located in the heart of Iowa River Landing. Stay within walking distance of Extreme Arena, home of the Iowa Hawkeye volleyball team, as well as great restaurants, shopping, and scenic walking trails along the Iowa River. Hyatt Regency Coralville is also the home of Hawk Talk with Jan Jensen and Ben McCollum. Come together at Hyatt Regency Coralville, where everything you need is right here.
Get ready, Hawkeye fans. New head coach Ben McCollum and the Iowa men's basketball team are ready to hit the hardwood.
He's working hard into the corner. Catch, hits a three. Oh, talk about catch and shoot.
Carver Hawkeye Arena is heating up. Witness the electrifying plays in person and be a part of the roaring Carver crowd. Take in all the action happening at Carver Hawkeye Arena by visiting HawkeyeSports.com on Iowa, and go Hawks.
Welcome back to Hawk Talk, live from the Hyatt Regency. Great Hawk fans on board tonight. Listen to Jan Jensen's show with Robbie Brooks on the drive-in. This is always an exciting time of the year because, for me, it's most exciting because we got the football basketball overlap, and the Hawks are going bowling. We hope you all go with us over the New Year's holiday, and I can promise you it'll either be Las Vegas or Tampa.
Yay.
And that's not bad. And there's a lot of Hawkeye basketball going on that time as well. And with that, let's welcome in Coach Ben McCollum. Born in Iowa City. This sounds like a country song. Born in Iowa City, raised in Storm Lake. But you were a Hawk from the day you emerged from your mom. And she was, of course, an Iowa City native. Your dad... was it your dad who was a judge, or your mom was a judge, or an attorney?
Mom was a judge.
Yes.
Yep.
Dad was in law enforcement.
Stepdad is he was a narcotics officer.
No wonder you're so disciplined. And
so disciplined.
Huh?
Yes, so disciplined.
I've told him a couple times, you got to loosen up, Coach. But this guy's a little intense now. Not that Fran wasn't, but so we're a month into the season. You're 7-1. That is glossy on paper. Last night was difficult. What have you learned in the first month on the job, playing the level of competition that you're playing and going to be playing every night out?
Yeah, I think the hardest part about taking over a job is you really have to redo the entire culture. Like, you have to change everything, and it's hard. And then you start well because you win some basketball games because you're doing the right things. You have to make sure that you remember that there's going to be ebbs and flows to how this thing is going to be built. And sometimes those are a good thing to really get you over that hump. You need to be challenged. You need to be exposed. It needs to be difficult. Otherwise, you can't get to where you want to go as a program. And so, I've learned quite a bit, in the short time, just on this level, the things that go on with this level from an external standpoint, whether it's the outside noise to the players, the outside noise with now there's NIL, there's rev share, et cetera, et cetera. And then, also trying to get this thing over the hump, get fans back in Carver, get some excitement going and really get an investment into the program.
If you said it once last night on our post-game visit, you said it multiple times. Nobody likes getting beat by 19. I don't care if you're home or away, but you said this was a game we needed at this time. It was a great setup. What do you mean by that?
Well, you can't overreact to results, from a positive or from a negative perspective. Obviously, if it's a reoccurring theme for, 5, 6, 7, 8 games, then you probably got some issues. You probably should overreact to it. But losing one game, on the road, your first conference game, and kind of looking back on the tape, man, it's never as bad as it seems, and it really wasn't. And we'll show our guys like, okay, that was a preventable mistake. That was a preventable mistake. So now all of a sudden you take all those mistakes away, and it's like, okay, so now what's the score of the game? And it's completely different than what it was. I mean, they didn't score a field goal, and I'm not totally sure for like the first. They might have scored one field goal, and then it was like
free throws. Yeah,
it was like 7 or 8 minutes of just straight free throws, and and so we were defending pretty well. I guess we were defending without foul, or I guess we were fouling them, so that was a problem. But outside of that, they couldn't score, and then offensively, we were stagnant. I think that's part of having a group that hasn't played together enough yet. Our offense was great. Went to Ole Miss. They switched everything. So when you switch, now you're punishing matchups. But when you punish matchups, in basketball, it's very rhythmic. And so there's like a flow to your offense where it moves and pops and that sort of thing. But when you switch, now you're punishing matchups. It kind of stalls it. You still score, but it stalls your offense. And then we didn't get back to getting a flow. And against Michigan State, you can't just come off of one screen and expect to score. You got to get to your second, third, fourth, even fifth actions a little more consistently. We didn't do a good job of that.
Coach, the kid seemed a little disappointed on the bus and on the airplane, but sometimes that's good. You realize your mistakes and you get back at it and prepare for the next one. That's the feeling you got from your guys afterwards?
Yeah, I certainly don't want them happy. It's one of those things that you want them upset with the result of that. You want them to create some resolve and some fight, and our guys did. You also have to see, okay, and this is the difficult part about this league. This is the difficult part about the Big Ten and how it's played is, one, it's a very physical league, which is great. That's what our teams have always thrived on. But the second part of that is now your prize is you get to go play Maryland. So it doesn't shut off. So you get done with Michigan State, you got beat, move on. You got to play Maryland, and Maryland's good too. And so we need to focus our attention on there, focus on some of the mistakes that we made, fix them, and then get ready for the Maryland game after that.
We talked about the rebounding last night, and you said, I want my guys engaged. I had mentioned that, boy, there were a lot of deflections, and they were going after it, and I'm looking at 3 6'11" guys for Michigan State. And Cale Combs is 6'6", 6'7", Tavion 6'7", Cam is 6'9". A tough draw, no question, tough matchup. But I thought your guys really fought hard.
Yeah, so we actually looked. It was our kids did for a little bit of a period. Probably not long enough, to be honest. We probably should have fought a little bit harder through some of those times. And I thought it was our guards that were having trouble coming back and helping with rebounds. Maybe they thought we had it secured, it tipped around, and then they got the ball. It's just something that we need to make sure that we hadn't had a problem with that all year. I don't necessarily think it was as much of the size that was an issue. And the reason I say that is if you look at Jackson Kohler is measured at 6'8" without shoes, okay? So Cam is 6'8.5" without shoes. So similar sizes. The difference between some of their guys, and we pulled it up today, and this is why it's important that we do recruit a majority of high school kids, is we pulled up their lineup. Jackson Kohler, Cohen Carr, Carson Cooper, Jeremy Fears, and Kurt Tang. They're starting 5. And we were like, okay, so what did they do their freshman year? It was like 3 minutes, 6 minutes, maybe 10, and maybe 5 minutes. And then you look at their bodies as freshmen, and you're like, they were small. And honestly, they had those couple years, they had some, down years for them. They were still NCAA tournament teams and were still a good team. But then they developed, and then now they're in year 3 and 4 because that's an established program. And so now they have guys coming up from behind. So ultimately, that's what you want to get to. So kind of going back to your original question is, picture Cooper Koch with 15 more pounds on him after he has another summer with us. Okay, picture Kim Manuel, and he's a big body. Picture even Joey Mattione, who's actually the exact same length and size. He's just 20 pounds lighter than Jackson Kohler, but probably Jackson Kohler when he's a freshman. So we've just got to build that up a little bit more, build our bodies even more than what they are. But again, we're doing it with younger kids. We've got quite a bit of young guys out there playing right now,
including Tate Sage and Joey Mattione, and that had to be a great experience for them last night, logging heavy minutes against a quality program like Michigan State.
Yeah, I thought Tate played great, when he was in. I thought he was. I even thought Trevan did for the limited time that he got in. It's just, it was a tricky game for him just because of the environment, and then he's guarding those bigs, which, he'll be able to do eventually. But I thought Tate, he's not real scared of the moment. He just kind of comes in and goes and fights and competes, and I thought he did a really good job even looking back at the film.
All right, Coach, we're going to take a break, come back with Facebook, Twitter, U.S. Cellular text line. I'm not a big social media guy, so I'm trying to remember all these handles. And, I'm an old guy, so it's difficult, but I'll catch up. This is our first Talk with Ben McCollum. I think Coach is off to a great start, don't you guys? Absolutely. And it's hard not to get off to a great start here at the Hyatt Regency. This is outstanding, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And thanks to Matt and the entire crew for hosting us again this year at the Hyatt Regency in the Iowa River Landing. Gather for the family holiday coming up we're in the holidays right now at the Hyatt Regency Coralville. Breakfast with Santa. Mark this down, Saturday, December 13th. This morning is full of holiday cheer with an expansive breakfast buffet, crafts, a keepsake ornament, and photo ops with Santa and Mrs. Claus. Tickets can be purchased through Eventbrite, that's Event, B-R-I-T-E, or by calling the hotel here at 319-688-4028. 319-688-4028. Also want to welcome, we're being televised live this year, each and every Monday night. Typically we're here on Monday night. It's a Wednesday night now because the Hawks played last night. But, 30, 35 games, we'll move the dates around a little bit, but not a lot. Typically, we're here every Monday night, and we want to thank Mediacom. How about a hand for Mediacom for sending our program around the state? Thanks to Jeff and India and Michael. They're here tonight. They'll be here each and every week for Hawk Talk with Coach McCollum, sponsored by U.S. Cellular as the official wireless partner of the Iowa Hawkeyes. U.S. Cellular reminds you that on game days, your hands are for cheering, not texting, because game days are built for the Hawkeyes. U.S. Cellular, built for us. We're back with Coach Ben and Bobby Hansen. I'm Gary Dauphin, back with more after this from Hawk Talk with Coach McCollum from Learfield in the Hyatt Regency.
Dives for lunch.
The Juicy Lucy. Essentially, it's a burger, but with cheese on the inside.
James Beard Award winners for dinner.
French technique, but Midwestern ingredients. It's a little unbecoming to lick the bowl, but...
Plan your next trip at exploreminnesota.com.
Hawkeye Nation, the wait is over. Carver Hawkeye Arena is calling, and the Iowa men's basketball team is ready to light it up under new head coach Ben McCollum. It's his first year at the helm, and the Hawks are ready to fly with high-octane style of play that will leave you on the edge of your seat. Single game tickets are on sale now. Secure your seat, bring the energy, and help give the Hawks the home court advantage. Head to HawkeyeSports.com and grab your tickets today. Let's pack Carver and make this season one to remember. Go Hawks!
Happy Honda Days are here. The best time to save on a certified pre-owned Honda at your local Honda dealer. See big savings on all certified pre-owned Honda cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. Plus, your Honda backs with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Every certified pre-owned Honda goes through a 182-point inspection and is reconditioned like new by factory-trained technicians with genuine Honda parts. To save on a certified pre-owned Honda, search your local Honda dealer today.
Iowa fans, with US Mode from U.S. Cellular, you can keep your eye on the game, not on your screen. Whether you're inside the stadium, tailgating in the lots, or listening to the game at home, U.S. Cellular wants you to focus on genuine connections with your family, friends, and fellow Hawkeye fans. That means at game time, you should do less growing and more cheering. So eliminate distractions and build connections by setting your phone to US Mode, because game day is for cheering on the Hawkeyes. Go Hawks! U.S. Cellular, built for us.
Tournament Club of Iowa, designed by golf legend Arnold Palmer. TCI is his only signature course in the state. TCI is a public course offering a challenging yet enticing experience for golfers of all levels and is managed by Kaler Golf. Cap off your round with breathtaking views and a delicious meal at the TCI Bar and Grill. Looking for a unique setting for your wedding party or outing? Look no further than the newly renovated clubhouse at TCI. Visit tcofiowa.com to book your tee time today.
Hawkeye fans, gear up for game day with Big Grove. As an official craft brewery of the Iowa Hawkeyes, they bring you the ultimate game-watching experience. Sip on fan favorites like Easy Eddie, Citrus Surfer, and Neighborhood Beer while cheering on the Hawks. Can't make it to the stadium? No worries. Join them at any of their 4 Iowa locations in Iowa City, Cedar Rapids, Des Moines, and Solon. Big Grove Brewery, your official watch party headquarters of the Hawkeyes. Go Hawks!
In Minnesota, we don't hide from winter. We embrace it. When there's a nip in the air, we take on the trails. For every layer you wear, there's a new experience waiting for you.
It's a little unbecoming to lick the bowl, but...
Plan your next trip at exploreminnesota.com.
Welcome back to the Hyatt Regency and the Iowa River Landing in Coralville. Iowa basketball Saturday afternoon. Maryland is the opponent. Buzz Williams at Maryland, familiar with Buzz from his days at Marquette, and he's been to a few other schools. We'll get the scouting report on Maryland shortly, but we're reviewing the first month of the season with Iowa basketball coach Ben McCollum. You're welcome to join the conversation on Twitter at Gary Dolphin or on Facebook at facebook.com/voice of the Hawks. U.S. Cellular text line is 319-853-8344, or you can email a question for Coach at hawktalk@HawkeyeRadioNetwork.com. Kind of like a former Drake coach reunion here tonight. We've got the Indiana-Minnesota game on. Nico Medved.
Oh, that's right.
Coach DeVries, and you sitting here. What a run of Drake coaches that have gone on to, and there are more than you three, but I mean that had Dr. Tom Davis.
Yes,
here at Iowa, went to Drake, and obviously is enjoying retirement now over near Finkbine Golf Course. But and you know all of the former Drake mentors bring a lot of the same to the table. You know, each have their different approaches, but you got to be proud of that group.
Yeah, no, and honestly, I don't know those two very well. I've met both of them. Obviously, I know the administration at Drake pretty well, but you know, it kind of, once they built a practice facility. And it was right when Nico came in, and I think it was his first year. It might have been DeVries' first year, one of the two. And the practice facility is phenomenal. I mean, they've got a women's practice facility and a men's, and they've got a lounge and a locker room for both, and a film room. And ever since they built that and kind of renovated the Knapp Center, I mean, it's taken off. And obviously, they hired good coaches with Nico and Coach DeVries, and did a good job of getting that thing built. But you know, it was no coincidence that they invested and it started to take off.
Well said. Let's go to Facebook, Coach. Facebook.com/voice of the Hawks for Ben McCollum. Ryan, as a coach, concerning recruiting or portal, has anything in the first year taught you something or made you change your ways of thinking in order to compete in the Big Ten? Meaning, do you see the need for more scoring now, defense, ball handling, or size? You've said how expensive 7-foot guys are. But if it's the right fit, can we pay enough to get the right guy? So glad you're here as our coach. Best wishes. And Ryan says, fellow Nyack Trojan alum from 98.
There you go.
1998.
Would have been 2000 I would have been there. So because I graduated in 99 high school.
Looks like he just missed you.
Yeah. Well, he would have been there in 2000.
Yeah.
That would have been good. Yeah. So to answer the last question, it depends on how much he wants to donate for that 7-footer if we can afford him.
I was going to bring that up.
That would be the first answer to that question. They have done a great job. Our administration has done a great job of putting some investing into the NIL, investing in, it's not NIL anymore, the rev share essentially, and I think they're creating more and more plans to be able to get to that point. That would be kind of the first part of that. The second part is, I think the biggest thing I learned from a recruiting perspective is, one, the portal can get you so far. It can't get you to the level that you really want to get to, where you have consistent guys. And we talked about that with the Michigan State thing, where, hey, everybody wants this finished product, this program that Iowa can be proud of, where you can connect with the players, et cetera, but sometimes people don't want to go through what happens to actually get to that point. Like, it's a journey to actually get to that build. Otherwise, it's no fun. And there'll be some bumps in the road, and so you do have to take some high school kids. But to answer your question, I think size with guards, and all of your guards need to be able to handle and essentially drive. They've got to be very versatile. You got to be able to shoot. You got to be able to drive, and then you got to be able to defend your position. And I know that sounds like kind of simple, but a lot of times, at Division II, you can get a guy that can really defend at an elite level, and you can use him as a cutter offensively. In the Big Ten, you really can't do that. They've got to have all those attributes pretty consistently. From a big guy perspective, if you're recruiting high school, they need to have a frame that allows them to put on some mass, put on some weight pretty easily. And then if you're recruiting from the portal, you need to have skill. In my opinion, obviously you can get a 7-foot shot blocker, which would be really nice to do. But, again, I think that length, that size, and then the versatility of being able to shoot, drive, and defend your position at all positions is a big deal.
Coach, talk about that process to stay on that vein of big guys. Trevan, you were in Des Moines, saw him play at Valley. He won 3 straight state championships, didn't he? With Valley West Des Moines there, and then was committed somewhere else, but you were able to recruit him to Iowa. How was that process?
Well, the process was pretty easy. He called me out of the blue one day and said, hey, Coach, I think I want to come to Iowa. I go, well, Trevan, you are signed with another school. That's not going to work very well. He goes, well, I called Coach Jacobson, and I asked him for my release just for Iowa because I wanted to see if he wanted me. And it was just a release from his so he could contact us. And I said, okay, well, let me go check. So I went and asked compliance. It was good. So I called him back, and he said, hey, do you want me? And I said, yeah, that'd be great.
7 foot.
Yeah.
Can pass.
Let's do that. Yeah. Can pass, can shoot, and he's an unreal kid. Three-time state champion, et cetera. And this was always his dream school. And so he actually committed probably before he really blew up. He went out to Peach Jam, which is one of the Nike EYBL AAU tournaments, and I mean, if he wasn't the best player there in that deal, he was one of them. Played at an elite level, but he had already committed to UNI at that point. So the only school he wanted to go to other than that was Iowa at the time, and Iowa didn't necessarily recruit him. I think they talked to him a few times, but just didn't recruit him a ton, which wasn't their fit. But he's a fit for us. I think he's scratched the surface a lot of times with freshmen, big guys in particular. It takes them about a semester to really acclimate themselves and get them to that level. So we're hoping he can get there sooner rather than later.
You were talking about big guards. Now, Bobby Hansen was a big guard who could drive and shoot, helped take Iowa to a Final Four. What would you pay him? What would you offer him?
Boy,
to transfer, come out of the portal. You're coming
out
of
the portal.
Yeah.
Legitimately, what would that cost? How many points did you average?
When?
In college?
In college?
Your junior year, because I would have recruited you for your senior year. 17 a game at Power 5.
At a time when they didn't have three-pointers and shot clock and all that.
They didn't have three-pointers. Oh, geez. So let's assume you could shoot threes, okay?
Yes.
Which I'm sure you could.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm sure you have.
No question.
And you averaged 17 a game. Let's say you were 40+%. How tall are you actually? 6'4"? 6'6".
Yeah.
Oh, okay. 6'6".
5 rebounds a game, 72% free thrower.
In the portal right now, you would probably cost roughly, let's just go off last year's number, you would cost roughly $2.5 to $3 million.
Really? You're kidding me. That's more than I made my NBA career.
That's what you would cost. Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Where's the time machine?
I know. I think the same thing, but I was a Division II player.
I have no regrets.
They didn't do it there.
I wouldn't have transferred. I would have stayed
I know
right
you
here.
wouldn't have. And most people that like their programs don't.
I'm still here with Iowa. I came here with Lute Olson in 1977 when I first met him and his wife, Bobby.
How about the market price right there?
That's crazy.
My goodness.
I can't imagine. I cannot imagine.
$2.5 million. You'd be buying dinner on the road every night, Bobby, if you were on that Iowa roster. And
all the McDonald's you can eat.
Oh, man.
That was probably on the low end, to be perfectly honest. For a 17 a game.
Are you just being nice? Or, for a guy that
17
pick me out of it.
17 a game, 6'6" shooter that shot threes, let's just say above a 40% clip and won. And was coached. Yeah.
And was coached.
Yeah. That's a lot of money.
We did make a call to Hawaii one time.
Yeah, there you go.
They told us you're staying right there in Iowa.
That's right. That's right.
Rick Majerus wanted you too, didn't he?
Rick, he was at Marquette.
Yeah, that's right.
They had just won a national championship in '78.
Yeah.
So you had Lute Olson was the one that recruited you?
Yes.
Lute, yeah. My mom. That was like one of my mom's favorite coaches because of how he dressed.
They all loved him.
He was so sharp. He was so sharp. Okay, Mom.
Bobby's mom, of course, he went to Dowling in Des Moines, and Bobby's mom, when she found out Rick Majerus offered him at Marquette, she said, "You're going to Iowa."
Yeah.
She loved Lute Olson.
I can understand.
She loved Lute, but she wanted me to stay in Des Moines. She wanted me to go to Drake.
With
Bob Ortigal. Coach. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I'm a little bit older than you are, Coach. But, Bob Ortigal, he had it going on there. Larry Bird was in the Missouri Valley at the time. And
he was a good player.
I just wanted to get out, spread your wings, and Iowa became the perfect place.
There you go.
Coach gave me the quick recruiting story. I'm like, this is April of your senior year, right? Took a trip to Marquette, and Luke's always in contact, so he calls and says, "Hey, have you made a decision?" "Oh, Coach, I need some time." He says, "I'll give you some time." I said, "How much time do I have?" He said, "You got 10 seconds. And then true story. I mean, this is how I sell now when I'm out in the real world. Like, come on, you have 10 seconds. I got to move on. And I'm like, I'm coming to Iowa.
Yeah, I got it. Man, I wish I could do that. Yeah, it doesn't. Too much text messages and all that stuff. They figure out the information. You could kind of bully guys back then. Now they got too much information. You can't do that.
That was a good move because one of his teammates, there was a number, Kevin Boyle, certainly, but Kenny Arnold, Ronnie Lester, but Steve Krafsison.
Yes.
Mark Gannon. We got to throw Mark out there.
Mark Gannon, Steve Waite, Steve Krafsison. But
I played for Special K.
That's why I brought up Special K. And
tell us about Special K.
Anything you can reveal here
as a coach.
Oh, boy. As a coach.
He told me one story about you.
He was
a good story.
He was a trip. He was just like he is as a person, is how he's as a coach. Just goofy, fun. But when you played, he was competitive now.
His high school coach was phenomenal. He's like Bobby Knight.
Okay.
At St. Lawrence.
Yes.
Chicago.
He is a competitor. But, just kind of goofy, fun-loving, love the players, love the guys. He coached women's basketball down the stretch. I thought he was probably that he's a really good women's basketball coach.
Yeah,
just because that's his kind of personality. He's it's different. My old assistant switched from the men's side to the women's coach side, and it's just so different coaching females versus males, and different personalities fit different clientele.
He loved it.
Yeah, he was great at it.
He said you had a little dog though at Nyack that.
I did. A Doberman.
Oh, it was a Doberman?
Yeah.
Well, it couldn't be in an apartment or something. He said you kept sneaking it in. I said, I like the guy. He likes dogs.
Yeah.
We love dogs.
Oh, man.
You still have an animal?
I have 2 dogs. I love dogs. Nice. That was dumb. I had Oh, I remember. It was it was a Doberman.
Was it a miniature Doberman?
No.
It was a regular
It was
Doberman.
Big Doberman. They call them blue Dobermans. They're actually gray color. They're really beautiful dogs and easy to train. And my roommate, his aunt bred them. So I'm like, this is a great idea. Let's go get a dog. And that's a great decision. Went and got a dog. And it's a great dog. Trained it. Got it all the way. And then I'd have to bring it over to my grandmother's, who was in Mason City. And I swear I would probably be the only human being alive that could bring a dog into her house. And she would let me, and she was nice to it. And then eventually I trained it, but then I just couldn't take care of it. So I actually had a roommate that had a bunch of dogs that loved him. Perfectly trained, great dog. They ended up adopting the dog and lived a better life there than it did in college.
What was her name?
Angel, ironically.
For a Doberman.
I don't know why I named it that.
A Doberman named Angel.
It was an angel.
St. Mary's.
It was an angel. That's what I think of you sometimes. Yeah. An angel.
I had a flashback. I gave Chad Greenway a ride home. He lived about 6 blocks from Kinnick one Saturday afternoon after he had 18 tackles, another All-American performance. And he said, come on in. I got a beer for you. And I was 21. He wasn't. So I walked in. He's got 2 miniature Dobermans.
Oh, my buddy has a mini picture.
And one jumped up and it was chewing on his elbow, and Chad's walking around the living room trying to shake it off. I mean, that Greenway was a different dude, but he was a hell of a football player and an All-American. And, of course, 11 years with the Vikings, all pro. But and I had never seen a miniature Doberman before. They have miniature, and the thing was maybe a foot off the ground.
It's tiny. I have a buddy that has one named Ruby. That thing is Ruby. Man. Yeah.
But the mugs are the same. The long pointed nose.
Oh yeah.
Teeth as long as your finger, and he didn't chew on my ankles or anything. I got the hell out of there. I wasn't going to. I said, and of course, as you know, when you're in college, you got 3 or 4 roommates. Yep. I think he had Sean Considine. He had 3 other all name. Big Ten players. Yep. Anyway, okay, we'll be back with more pet stories.
We love dogs.
This has gone off the rails at this point.
If you folks have a pet story you'd like to come up and talk to us about, be sure and let us know. This is Hawk Talk with Coach McCollum. We're brought to you by Wellmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. They know that quality coverage takes a great team, and with a Wellmark individual and family health plan, you can choose from thousands of in-network providers. Score great coverage and find the right plan for you at wellmark.com/covered. And, of course, we appreciate Iowa Corn's support. Not only the Hawks, but the Iowa Corn Cy-Hawk Series. Iowa Corn promotes honest, hard-working values that are uniquely Iowan. Thank you to Iowa's corn farmers. They lead the nation annually in corn and ethanol production, feeding and fueling us all. Go to iowacorn.org, iowacorn.org, and learn how corn grows Iowa. Back with more basketball Hawk Talk with Coach McCollum in just a minute. This is Hawk Talk from the Hyatt Regency in the Iowa River Landing.
How do you become America's best-selling brand? Let's break it down. Innovative tech means smarter and safer driving. Intelligent all-wheel drive will keep you ready for anything. And built Ford tough trucks will always get the job done. Plus, come into your local Ford store today and get super low APR financing, big cash back, and great lease offers on Ford's full line of cars, trucks, and SUVs. That's Ford, and that's how you become America's best-selling brand. Sales claim based on calendar year sales.
Cancer doesn't care. It doesn't care what you look like, how old you are, what you do, or where you live. We do. University of Iowa Healthcare is doing more to beat cancer than anyone in the state. From second opinions to life-saving treatments that happen here first. We lead the way in research, training, and care because we believe that UI Healthcare is here to make all of Iowa better. UI Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. Visit uihealthcare.org.
You might think Iowa grows corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa. Corn can even fuel your drive to watch the Hawkeyes play when you choose Unleaded 88. It's a fuel that's cheaper, cleaner, and greener. Plus, it's homegrown, making Unleaded 88 the clear choice at the pump and totally worth the hype. So as you head to cheer on the Hawkeyes this season, don't just fuel up. Pump it up with Unleaded 88. Find Unleaded 88 at a station near you. Go to iowacorn.org/88.
Hi, I'm Gary Dolphin, and if you want your home to be exceptionally comfortable during these cold Iowa winters and hot, humid summers, you need to turn to Dave Lennox and your local Lennox home comfort specialist. Lennox has been serving Iowa consumers since 1895, when Dave Lennox built his first furnace in Marshalltown, and Lennox is still building its high-efficiency furnaces and air conditioners there today. For the best home comfort system you can buy, it's Lennox and your local Lennox dealer. Lennox and the Hawkeyes. Now there's a winning combination.
We love it when the Hawkeyes do their thing, because if there's anyone who can appreciate building a legacy, it's John Deere. We've been growing our team since 1837, recruiting the best thinkers, doers, and makers to craft innovations that outpace the competition. Because whether it's cultivating the earth with a tractor or reshaping it with a 40-ton excavator, the machines we build are building America. Nothing runs like a Deere.
Can you think of anything that costs the same today as it did 10 years ago? There isn't much. That is, unless you're a Mid-American Energy customer. Thanks to all the renewable energy we're generating, our customers pay nearly the same rate for electricity today as they did back when we were all singing, "Call Me Maybe." And with Mid-American making even more investments in clean energy, you can count on enjoying those same affordable rates for the next decade. Now that's obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
We're off to a great start tonight with Coach Ben McCollum on Hawk Talk. Thank you all for tuning in on the Hawkeye Radio Network. By the way, Steve Craftston listens all the time. He critiques our performance each and every game week. So I know he's over there. He's probably done with practice by now. But Special K.
Enjoy retirement. He is retired.
Is he retired now?
Yeah.
Living the dream.
He sends out pictures of what golf course am I on.
He's going to play more golf than he's played before.
And his music that he listens to every day. What is his favorite? Grateful Dead or something? I don't know.
He's big. Yeah, he's a big.
I'm not sure he's a deadhead, but
that era.
He had that 70s rock.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
AC/DC, Black Sabbath. That's Special K.
All the good stuff.
You know, when you get recruited by Dean Smith, you're pretty doggone good. And he spent, I think, a year or two at North Carolina before Lute brought him in here and teamed him up with Steve Waite. And then, Kenny Arnold, Ronnie Lester. I mean, what a group that was. What an era of Iowa basketball
Vince
that
Brookins.
was. Yeah, Vince could shoot with the best of them from the baseline. But we're present day, the Hawkeyes are 7-1, host Maryland on Saturday afternoon. Here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. Hopefully we see you there. Bring your headsets. Tip-off is at 3 o'clock. Our pregame coverage starts at 2. And more about that in a minute. But let's go back to Facebook and Twitter for Coach McCollum on the U.S. Cellular text line. Vance is up in Ely. I heard your postgame comments on how the loss to Michigan State is going to be good for us. How can your team learn and grow from a defeat like this? Go Hawks. Thank you, Vance.
Yeah, I think anytime you get exposed, you're able to then improve. I think sometimes you don't necessarily need losses per se, but you need to be exposed to a certain level. And they did expose some things that we need to improve on. And unfortunately, we had to do it the hard way, which it is what it is. That's part of building the program. But like we've talked about before, an overreaction is just not something that we're going to do, but we are going to learn and grow. So a couple things, making sure that our guards come back and help rebound a little bit better. I think part of the reason they were able to get offensive rebounds is they kind of pushed our defense back because they ran a lot of clock. We took them completely out of transition. We worked on it all week. It says right here, fast break points were 6 fast break points.
Right.
That's usually at a 20.
That's unusual to hold them to 6.
Yes, and so we did our job there. The problem is then they almost changed how they played from their first 5 or 6 games to where, like, if you look at the North Carolina possessions, there was like 60 possessions in that game, which is very low for them. And then in our game, it was even lower, and a lot of that was them. I mean, they were getting down to 3, 4, 5 seconds of the shot clock. They beat you up. They throw something at the rim. They know it's going up, and they're just throwing it at the rim to go get it. And a lot of times they didn't have a chance to make it. And then they went and got the offensive rebound. And so, you got to fight those battles a little better. I think if our offense was better, that would have helped, because then it wouldn't break our spirits and we'd be able to defensive rebound a little bit. So we learned our offense needs to be better. Got to wear them out a little bit with our offense. And then defensively, they can't just push us back. It's just like the ball kept getting deeper and deeper and deeper. And when it gets so deep, now size does become an issue. When you keep them out on the perimeter more consistently, that size doesn't become an issue. You don't get in rotation as much, and then you're able to box out much better.
And Coach, what were they doing to Bennett? You look at the tape, and now you'll see how were they switching guys on him, Jeremy, to Kurtang, or different guys, or were they double him? What were they doing?
Yeah, I thought we tried to get to the first side a few times. We tried to score on the first side, the first action, rather than getting to second actions, and I think that hurt probably more than anything. Was it something that they did? I think it's just what they're defensively. You're just not going to, against a good team, you're not going to just come down and run one ball screen and score. And we had done that against Ole Miss because they had switched. And then the next game was drop coverage. So drop coverage, you're actually already down into the paint. So now you're going, well, now this is a show, which is they're up in coverage more consistently. You got to get to multiples. The thing with ball screens, or the thing with any type of screens, is, and this is what we try to tell our guys, is with a ball screen, the defense, let's say we run 3 ball screens in a possession. The defense has to be right 3 times. They have to go 3 for 3. With offense, if I run 3 ball screens in a possession, I just have to be right 1 of the 3 times. Mm-hmm. So if I can get to multiple of those things, now that's a big deal. But we weren't able to get to multiple of them, so we weren't able to free them up like we really wanted to. We just got to do a better job of that next game.
When he stepped back and hit that first 3, I'm like, uh-oh, here we go. It's going to be a big-time game out of Bennett, and I didn't know if they made any adjustments or what they did from that point forward.
No, not really. I mean, they're handsy away from the ball to where you can't get to your spots as consistently, that sort of thing. But nothing earth-shattering that we haven't seen. It was just they're just very disciplined with their defense, so you can't just come down and run one thing. And that's what we tried to do, and that's just not going to work against them.
Hawk Talk with Coach McCollum is live tonight from the Hyatt Regency, and the Coralville River Landing will be here every week with a Hawk Talk with Coach through the end of the tournaments coming up in March. And we're brought to you by University of Iowa Healthcare, here for you no matter where you are in the state, changing medicine, changing lives for all of Iowa and beyond. Visit uihealthcare.org, uihealthcare.org. Missy is in Shoeyville on the U.S. Cellular text line. A silly question, Coach. I apologize, but how many of your signature yellow ties do you own? And what did you do with your old blue ties from Drake?
Well, I have my one blue tie from Drake. I've got that. I think I save it. Like I save all my green ones from Northwest.
Sure, absolutely.
I've got all those, and I've only got one yellow tie. I mean, I got multiple yellow ties, but I got one that I use pretty consistently. So, one would be the answer to that question.
There you go.
And I still have I think I still have the Drake blue tie.
Collectibles, Missy. There you go from Shoeyville. Tracy down in Burlington, what's the hardest kind of team to guard in the Big Ten based on what you've seen so far? Would it be a big physical team like Michigan State? It always starts with the point guard. If the opposition has a great point guard, you got to start there.
Yeah, I didn't think I thought they were just a really good basketball team, Michigan State. I wasn't, from an offensive perspective, it wasn't like something that completely struck fear into us. It was just that they were just a really good basketball team.
Yeah,
like they are. That's more what it was. I'd say from an offensive perspective, you're Purdue's. They've got massive bigs that are skilled, meaning they can finish. They've got shooting all around it, and their ability to coach offense is as good as it gets. Shooting with a post presence is very difficult to go against at any level.
Well, that's going to be when Iowa does play Purdue. It's going to be something else. Braden Smith with Bennett Sturtz, just for starters. But So there you have. And while we're on Purdue, Michigan State, give us a 2-minute capsulization of Maryland and what you expect to see in the Terrapins come Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, a multi-defensive team. They're probably similar but completely different than Michigan State. Michigan State's like very, very, very disciplined. With their defense, like just very in the gaps, always in position. These guys are going to be a little bit more extended, force more turnovers, change defenses a little more consistently. They're very, very good offensive rebounded, similar to Michigan State, probably a different type. They'll play a little bit faster than Michigan State that we've seen up to this point. But they're very simple offensively, again, similar to them. So they're good. They've gotten better throughout the year. They've gotten guys healthy. I think early on they were pretty injured, and they just got healthier and healthier, and they've gotten better and better and better.
We're at the top of the hour. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. We're live from the Hyatt Regency in Coralville with Iowa basketball coach Ben McCollum. A 10-second station identification break. You're listening to Hawk Talk from Learfield. Welcome back to Hawk Talk. Before we take a break, let's go to email hawktalk@HawkeyeRadioNetwork.com. Please send us you can send us your questions or comments during the week as well, and we'll use them every Monday night on Hawk Talk with Coach McCollum. Kevin checks in. As tough as the Big Ten looks to be this year, Coach, how important will crowd support factor in this year? Your thoughts on attendance so far at Carver? Go Hawks. Well, you've spoke about this since the day you got hired, about how you need that building full to make it a complete cycle for the new age of Iowa basketball.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, going to the Breslin Center and just seeing what that was, that's what we need to do. It's like which one comes first? I don't know. Does the winning come first, or does the crowd come first? I'd like to do it all together, to be perfectly honest. And I think the community can really help support that. I think the community sees what we're trying to do. I think they do want to be a part of it. You just don't want to watch. You want to be a part. And we've asked, and we'll continue to ask, and we'll continue to fight to make people a part of what we're trying to create here, through the good and, through the bad. And then eventually, hopefully, it'll be all good at that point, right? But yeah, we need fans. That just makes for a fun atmosphere. It just makes for a fun deal. And we, as Hawkeye fans, kind of fancy ourselves as diehards. Like when you're a Hawk fan, like I'm in Iowa, I was in Missouri and I'm a Hawk fan. Like that's what I am. Like you're a diehard. Now we've just got to prove it and show it and get out there and come to games and cheer.
Yeah, you do your part. The Hawk fans will do theirs, no question. To that point, and we've begged, clawed, scratched for afternoon games on the weekends. And, I think we've been shortchanged in that regard. But you know what? It's the blue bloods of the Big Ten Conference are going to be at an advantage there, at least for the time being. But this is a 3 o'clock game, perfect time to come on out. Bring the kids, bring the family, bring everybody. There are seats available for Iowa and Maryland on Saturday afternoon. We've got some Sunday afternoon games. Bobby, you and I grew up in an era where they were almost all played in the afternoon. And I'm not knocking TV these days, but it's built around primetime ratings and television. And that's okay, but there's nothing like a Saturday afternoon or a Sunday late morning start or early afternoon at Carver Hawkeye.
Yeah, with a little bit of snowflake out in the sky or outside, and get inside and warm it up and smell that popcorn.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I remember. We played Thursday, Saturday. People kind of knew the schedule. Now it's every night of the week.
It is, and, Ben, you've got to adjust to that. I mean, you're playing different times, different nights, all 7 days out of the week.
Yeah, no, and you just really never know. I mean, I don't really know till after I finish the last game. I'm like, okay, so when do we play next? And I thought we played Friday. Fortunately, it's Saturday, so I get a little extra day to rest or to scout, I guess you would say. But no, I think the times would help. I mean, the earlier the better for a lot of these weekday games. You know, those 6 o'clock games. Played a lot of those at Drake. That was really
nice.
Good. We were able to get fan support at those, and then you go to the 8:30 game, and it's a little trickier. I'm tired at 8:30, so I can imagine others. And then, afternoon games, Saturday afternoon games, the prime time. I believe we have one this weekend. That's at 2 or 3.
3 o'clock tip-off.
Yep. So that should be hopefully a full gym. We need it.
I have no doubt it will be. We'll step out and take a break. When we come back, we'll get you caught up on other scores from around the country. Coach is going to enjoy a great meal here at the Hyatt Regency, as you should. Please come on out 7 days a week at the Hyatt Regency. They're open all the time. Hawk Talk with Coach McCollum. Can you change the MC? I knew that was going to slip out at some point tonight. Old habits are hard to break. We got football, basketball. If I call you Coach Ferentz, then we're in good shape. We're brought to you by Summit Agricultural Group, committed to Iowa and adding value to Iowa products. Summit Ag Group, corn, beef, hogs, ethanol, go Hawks, a proud supporter of Hawkeye basketball and Coach McCollum. That is the Summit Agricultural Group. We're back to the Hyatt Regency with more Hawk Talk, more of your questions and comments in just a minute. This is Hawk Talk from Learfield.
Despite the unshakable Iowa Corn-Cyhawk rivalry, there is one thing Iowa State and University of Iowa fans can both agree on: getting hyped for Unleaded 88. It's cleaner burning and better for your engine, and it's cheaper than other fuel options, making Unleaded 88 the clear fuel choice. If Iowa Corn-Cyhawk rivals can agree on it, you know it's worth the hype. So pump it up with Unleaded 88, grown by Iowa corn farmers.
Cancer doesn't care. It doesn't care what you look like, how old you are, what you do, or where you live. We do. University of Iowa Healthcare is doing more to beat cancer than anyone in the state. From second opinions to life-saving treatments that happen here first. We lead the way in research, training, and care because we believe that UI Healthcare is here to make all of Iowa better. UI Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. Visit uihealthcare.org.
Iowa fans, with US Mode from US Cellular, you can keep your eye on the game, not on your screen. Whether you're inside the stadium, tailgating in the lots, or listening to the game at home, US Cellular wants you to focus on genuine connections with your family, friends, and fellow Hawkeye fans. That means at game time, you should do less scrolling and more cheering. So eliminate distractions and build connections by setting your phone to US Mode, because game day is for cheering on the Hawkeyes. Go Hawks! US Cellular, built for us.
Flu season is here. Get your flu shot today at your local Hy-Vee pharmacy. It's easy, convenient, and no appointment is necessary. Plus, when you get your flu shot at Hy-Vee, earn a 20-cent fuel saver. That's right, a 20-cent fuel saver. Get your flu shot when it's convenient for you. Schedule online or just stop by your Hy-Vee pharmacy. No appointment necessary. Help your family stay healthy. Get your flu shot and get a 20-cent fuel saver only at Hy-Vee. See store for details. Some restrictions apply.
The year-end clearance sale is going on now at your local Honda dealer. Honda cars, SUVs, and trucks are on clearance during Happy Honda Days. Save thousands on the new Honda today with 0.99% financing. 2025 Accords, Pilots, and Ridgelines are on clearance. Plus, see big savings on the full Honda line, like financing as low as 0.99% APR on the new 2025 Ridgeline. Don't miss Happy Honda Days. Search your local Honda dealer today. See dealer for financing details. Financing on credit approval offer ends 1/5/26.
There's no better time to cheer on Coach McCollum and the Iowa men's basketball team. With the non-conference schedule wrapping up and Big Ten play approaching, we need you to join the excitement happening at Carver Hawkeye Arena. Get your family and friends together for a game, but don't delay because a limited number of home games are happening this month. Find the men's basketball schedule and claim your seats at HawkeyeSports.com. On Iowa, and go Hawks!
Welcome back to the Hyatt Regency in Hawk Talk. I'm Gary Dolphin with Coach Ben McCollum and Bobby Hansen. We're going to give you a scoreboard update courtesy of the Iowa Soybean Association, and then come back with more of your questions and comments on email, on Twitter, on the text line, the U.S. Cellular text line, email, and we have Facebook at Facebook, Voice of the Hawks / Facebook.com. U.S. Cellular text line number is 319-853-8344. If you'd like to reach us on Facebook, it's facebook.com/Voice of the Hawks, and on Twitter at Gary Dolphin. Got a lot to get to when we come back for our remaining moments on our opening night with Coach McCollum and Hawk Talk from the Hyatt Regency and the Watermill Bar and Grill, where the food is delicious. Just a couple of other games in the Big Ten tonight. Of course, the Hawks opened up last night at Michigan State. Tonight, Minnesota's hosting Indiana. And it looks like the Gophers, I shouldn't say that, 34 seconds left to go. Minnesota's up 2 possessions, 69-64 over number 22, Indiana. About to tip off, Northwestern is at Wisconsin. And later tonight, it's UCLA at Washington. Around the country, ranked teams, number 6, Louisville, is losing at Arkansas, 70-63. Number 25, Arkansas, leading 6th-ranked Louisville, 70-63, with 7.5 minutes to play in that game. That's the ACC-SEC Challenge. Clemson, Alabama. Number 12, Alabama, has a 4-point lead on Clemson with 7.5 to go. Iowa State is having no issue with Alcorn State, which we figured would happen. 10th-ranked Cyclones, 81, Alcorn 35, and they're early on in the second half there. So those are the scores right up to date. Later on, it's North Carolina State at number 20, Auburn. And on Saturday afternoon, the Hawkeyes take on the Maryland Terrapins. We'll be with you live at 2 o'clock with our Hawkeye pregame coverage, and the tip will be at 3 o'clock. Tonight, we're at the Hyatt Regency. Start New Year's Eve off with a special dinner at the Watermill Kitchen and Bar, located in the Iowa River Landing in Coralville. Choose from prime rib or a half rack of lamb, paired with your choice of side, a starter, dessert, a glass of wine or champagne, and all at just $100 a person, $100 per person for the New Year's Eve special. Of course, take in all the entertainment that will be here as well. Reserve your seat now on Open Table, or you can call the restaurant direct at 319-381-7336, 319-381-7336. New Year's Eve here at the beautiful Watermill Bar and Grill in the Hyatt Regency. Come on out this New Year's Eve and take in Hawkeye basketball or the Hawkeye Bowl game. That announcement will come up this Sunday. Iowa will find out where they're bowling and who they're bowling against, as Coach Ferentz and his Hawks are bowl eligible now for the 24th time in the last 25 years. Minnesota has gone final now. Minnesota knocked off the Indiana Hoosiers 73-64. That's Indiana's first loss. Man, I tell you, life on the road in the Big Ten doesn't change. It's never easy. All right, we're back with more of your questions and comments for Coach McCollum when we come back to the Hyatt Regency on Hawk Talk from Learfield.
Tournament Club of Iowa, designed by golf legend Arnold Palmer. TCI is his only signature course in the state. TCI is a public course offering a challenging yet enticing experience for golfers of all levels and is managed by Kaler Golf. Cap off your round with breathtaking views and a delicious meal at the TCI Bar and Grill. Looking for a unique setting for your wedding party or outing? Look no further than the newly renovated clubhouse at TCI. Visit tcofiowa.com to book your tee time today.
Attention Hawkeye fans, Big Grove is proud to be an official craft brewery of the Iowa Hawkeyes. Whether you're at the game or watching from home, Big Grove has got you covered. Enjoy an easy Eddie from the stands or visit them for every Hawkeye game at any of their 4 convenient Iowa locations in Iowa City, Cedar Rapids, Des Moines, or Solon. Big Grove Brewery, your official watch party headquarters of the Hawkeyes. Go Hawks! Big Grove Brewery, an official craft brewery of the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Hello, Iowa. Here's a promise. Wherever you are in this great state, University of Iowa Healthcare is here for you, even if you never walk through our doors. Educating, caring, leading research, sharing our expertise with all. Because we believe that UI Healthcare is here to make all of Iowa better. UI Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. Visit uihealthcare.org.
Unwind in style at Riverside Casino and Golf Resort, where luxury and excitement come together. Tee off on a world-class golf course, savor gourmet dining, and enjoy premier entertainment and amenities that are second to none. Feeling lucky? Hit the slots or try your hand at our table games. There's always action on the floor. Whether you're here to relax, play, or indulge, Riverside offers more than just a getaway. It's an unforgettable experience. Visit Riverside Casino and Resort.com to learn more.
You asked for all the extreme internet performance at an all-in price, and we listened. Get 1 gig internet with a 2-year price lock and everything included. Unlimited data for non-stop streaming, powerful Wi-Fi for enhanced coverage, built-in online threat protection, and internet equipment. All for just $65 a month for 2 years. It's the extreme 1 gig internet deal you asked for. Call 844-4FASTER or visit extreme.com for details. Offer available to new customers only. Price doesn't include one-time charges, tax, and government fees.
If you love great Hawkeye stories, don't miss the Fight for Iowa podcast with Gary Dolphin. Each week, Dolph brings you in-depth conversations with the athletes, coaches, and community members who define the Hawkeye spirit. From big moments to personal journeys, it's the stories that make Iowa special. Catch new episodes every week. Search Fight for Iowa wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back to Hawk Talk with Iowa basketball coach Ben McCollum, Gary Dolphin, and Bobby Hansen. Our engineer-producer Corey Sheets doing his usual great job. And, of course, Matt and the crew here at the Hyatt Regency couldn't be more cordial and courteous to each and every one of us here tonight. 2 great shows each and every week. Jan Jensen leads it off at 6 p.m. with Rob Brooks. And then we'll be here with Coach Mac, Ben McCollum, following Jan Jensen's show. And, by the way, we will have a Hawkeye player stopping by starting next week, each and every weeknight of Hawk Talk with Coach McCollum. So be sure you come on out and meet Bennett Sturtz, and you meet Cooper Koch. And, Ben Cooper, he's the lone returnee. Jacob Cook, I shouldn't say that. Jake Cook, who walked on, he's been a solid practice player for you. I know you want to get him into the game as much as possible too, but Cooper Koch had back-to-back double-figure games, had a double-double against Ole Miss. You're just starting to scratch the surface now with what this young guy, this legacy player, has to bring to the Iowa basketball program.
Yeah, he's growing before our eyes. I think the day we started practice to now, just from like a toughness standpoint, a physicality perspective, and even just being able to compete with a level of intensity, he's gotten shockingly better. Not that he was bad to begin with, he's just gotten so much better. And you see it every game. You just see him get better and better and better every single game. You see him have more confidence. And he's still a freshman. A 6'8" guy that can shoot, that can defend multiple positions, that really – we've asked him for, 4 or 5 months. He's only had 4 or 5 months in our system from a defensive perspective, and he's already slowly starting to pick that up. And imagine him in 2-3 years, how good he can be for us.
Yeah, and he'll be critical on Saturday afternoon against the Maryland Terrapins. They have 4 averaging in double figures. A name we're very familiar with is Pharrell Payne. He started out at the University of Minnesota, was playing up there for Coach Pitino a couple years back, transferred to Texas A&M with Buzz Williams, and then followed Buzz to the University of Maryland, where he's averaging 19 points a game. He's long, he's wiry. They have a kid named Darius Adams, who's a talent, 14 points a game. Solomon Washington is at 10, as is Andre Mills. So they've got some scorers coming at you in different directions. But a question from Doug. Doug's on Facebook. He says, Coach, Pharrell Payne has improved a lot since he was at Minnesota. How do you slow him down on Saturday? Who guards him? And make sure to box him out.
Yeah, I think we box him out. That would be a good start. Yeah. So hopefully we'll do that part of it. You got to limit his touches, obviously, with any big guy. You can't just let him catch the ball wherever it may be. And then, you got to show them a variety of looks. It can't be the same look. I didn't think we did a great job in the Michigan State game of showing them different looks in the posts, and we'll do a much better job against Maryland, making sure that we give them different looks. We don't just do the same thing every time.
Lori is in Spirit Lake up in the Lakes area. I'm sure it's nice and balmy up there tonight. And she says, Coach, as a head coach, could you chime in with your opinion on the Lane Kiffin situation, even though it's football related? A similar situation can arise in college basketball too, ? Well, yeah, I mean, we're talking about the NIL, and I don't know how much you follow college football this time of year. You're locked in on college basketball, but Lane Kiffin is leading off every newscast these days about this is, I think, his 8th school, not all as a head coach, but that's the environment we live in right now.
Yeah, Lane's a little unique from my understanding. I don't know him personally, but I just know that he's, he kind of, he changes a lot. But specific to the situation, if you want me to answer it, which is these are more my entertainment kind of questions. I enjoy these.
Yeah.
I think the biggest problem is their portal window and the timing of when they're allowed to hire coaches. Because let's say he does want to move to the LSU job, and he says, well, I want to finish out my season. Well, LSU can't afford that because they have to get into the portal. And so I almost think you have to change the timelines to fix the problems. Me personally, if I have an 11-1 team and I'm going to the playoffs, I probably wouldn't do that, but it's just me. I don't know. But again, I don't know his situation. Like you just don't know. You don't know the job situation. You don't know the job situation at LSU. You don't know all the ins and outs of how these things go down. So it's always pretty easy to form an opinion from the outside looking in. But just from the outside looking in, personally, that would be difficult for me. I think in basketball, it's a little bit different. Obviously, I just went through it with Drake. I think some do. Jobs are sometimes done before the seasons are ended, and there's MOUs signed, and I didn't sign mine. I didn't even have any terms or anything in front of me at that point. Now, obviously, they had them ready, but I wanted to focus on the team that we had, and I thought we did a good job of doing just that. I think there's always a process that goes on, but as long as you can eliminate that process surrounding the game, that's the biggest deal.
Thank you, Lori, for the question. We need to go to our final break of the evening on Hawk Talk with Ben McCollum. We've had a lot of fun tonight. Time flies. Back to wrap up this week's first show in just a minute on Hawk Talk with Coach McCollum from Learfield.
Dives for lunch.
The Juicy Lucy. Essentially, it's a burger, but with cheese on the inside.
James Beard Award winners for dinner.
French technique, but Midwestern ingredients. It's a little unbecoming to lick the bowl, but...
Plan your next trip at exploreminnesota.com.
How do you become America's best-selling brand? Let's break it down. Innovative tech means smarter and safer driving. Intelligent all-wheel drive will keep you ready for anything. And built Ford tough trucks will always get the job done. Plus, come into your local Ford store today and get super low APR financing, big cash back, and great lease offers on Ford's full line of cars, trucks, and SUVs. That's Ford, and that's how you become America's best-selling brand. Sales claim based on calendar year sales.
Iowa fans, with US Mode from US Cellular, you can keep your eye on the game, not on your screen. Whether you're inside the stadium, tailgating in the lots, or listening to the game at home, US Cellular wants you to focus on genuine connections with your family, friends, and fellow Hawkeye fans. That means at game time, you should do less scrolling and more cheering. So eliminate distractions and build connections by setting your phone to US Mode, because game day is for cheering on the Hawkeyes. Go Hawks! US Cellular, built for us.
Time now for the Wellmark Blue Cross and Blue Shield Health Coverage Report. Let's take a look at the numbers. When you enroll in a Wellmark individual or family health plan, you choose from thousands of in-network providers. And you're teaming up with Iowa's #1 health insurance company. We know healthcare in Iowa. Score great coverage from Wellmark. Find the plan that's best for you at wellmark.com/covered. Enrollment ends January 15th.
Cancer doesn't care. It doesn't care what you look like, how old you are, what you do, or where you live. We do. University of Iowa Healthcare is doing more to beat cancer than anyone in the state. From second opinions to life-saving treatments that happen here first. We lead the way in research, training, and care because we believe that UI Healthcare is here to make all of Iowa better. UI Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. Visit uihealthcare.org.
Unwind in style at Riverside Casino and Golf Resort, where luxury and excitement come together. Tee off on a world-class golf course, savor gourmet dining, and enjoy premier entertainment and amenities that are second to none. Feeling lucky? Hit the slots or try your hand at our table games. There's always action on the floor. Whether you're here to relax, play, or indulge, Riverside offers more than just a getaway. It's an unforgettable experience. Visit Riverside Casino and Resort.com to learn more.
In Minnesota, we don't hide from winter. We embrace it. When there's a nip in the air, we take on the trails. For every layer you wear, there's a new experience waiting for you.
It's a little unbecoming to lick the bowl, but...
Plan your next trip at exploreminnesota.com.
Hey, welcome back to our closing minutes with Iowa basketball coach Ben McCollum. It's been a great first program. Thanks to Bobby Hansen as well as Coach McCollum. Bobby, we got about a minute and a half left.
Yeah, final question for me, Coach, is just how's it been, this transition here, moving back to where you're from here in Iowa City? And I know so many people are glad that you're back.
Yeah, it's been great. It's exactly what I'm used to. Like at Northwest Missouri State, it was a town of 12,000. Obviously, this is bigger than that, but it has a small town feel to it. It's just Northwest Missouri State on steroids. We had an elite football program there, and then the basketball program was obviously we got that to a high level, but the community supports it. You feel at home. The people in Iowa City, the people in Solon, the people all around the area are just good people, and it's fun to be out in the community, and it's fun to see those people and interact with them, and so it reminds me a lot. And my kids are super happy here, and so is my wife.
And they'll all be out at Carver Hawkeye Arena on Saturday afternoon, 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock for the pregame show here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. Best combination is bring your radio to Carver and watch the Hawks take on the Maryland Terrapins. Big Ten home opener. We'll look forward to seeing you then. We've been brought to you tonight from the Hyatt Regency by Midwest One Bank, proud partner of doers and entrepreneurs. Our teams are ready to help you reach your business goals. It's called Empowered Money Management. Midwest One Bank, member FDIC. Ben, thanks for coming out tonight. We'll see you Saturday.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for having me.
Thanks to Bobby Hansen. I'm Gary Dolphin. Good night from the Hyatt Regency in the Iowa River Landing.
Live from the Watermill Kitchen and Bar inside the Hyatt Regency in Coralville. This has been Hawk Talk with Coach Ben McCollum. Brought to you by Iowa Corn. You might think Iowa just grows corn, but the truth is corn grows Iowa. Brought to you by Iowa's corn farmers of the Iowa Corn Growers Association and the Iowa Corn Promotion Board. By your local Ford dealers. Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle. Your Iowa John Deere dealers. John Deere loves to see the Hawkeyes do their thing, because if anyone can appreciate building a legacy, it's Deere. Lennox and your local Lennox home comfort specialist. Made right here in Iowa since 1895. Mediacom, home of extreme and 1 gig internet speeds. Mid-American Energy. Mid-American Energy is proud to deliver affordable, reliable energy to you all season long. Midwest One Bank is the presenting sponsor of Hawkeye men's basketball. Midwest One, small enough to care, big enough to deliver. Member FDIC. Honda. To see how Honda crushes the competition, see your local Central Midwest Honda dealer. Honda gets the Midwest. Shelter Insurance. The ball is in your court. Visit shelterinsurance.com to find an agent who can help you with your auto, home, and life insurance needs. Also brought to you by University of Iowa Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. And by U.S. Cellular, the official wireless partner of the Iowa Hawkeyes. U.S. Cellular, built for us. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Hawkeye Sports Network.